Hello, this is Faith at Faith and Books. They are doing construction outside on my road, and so it's too noisy to sit outside. And if you hear low noises, like banging noises or low thrumming type noises, it's because they're paving the road. Anyway, I'm going to do the tag from Taking Tea with Catherine called, what exactly is it called? The book giving tag. She gave a blanket tag. This is an original tag to her, and I think it's a really good one. And so I will link to her video. So I'll get right into it and put this up because Tag Tuesday is getting on there. I didn't have a chance to record this morning. So the first question is, do you give books as gifts? If so, to whom? Yes, I do give books as gifts. I think I've done it all my life. I give it to people who I think might appreciate the book. Right now, probably that's my children. Sometimes my husband, but now he only reads on the Kindle, so it's hard to give him books, but I used to give him books. Yeah, I give books a lot as a gift. Catherine in her video said that she doesn't really give very much because she's afraid that somebody already has the book, or they'll feel pressured to read it or whatever. But for my children, for the most part, I know pretty much whether they have a book or not. And also I don't think in terms of them maybe reading it right away. Like just this past July when it was my youngest daughter's birthday, I did give her 2 books. And I noticed they're still just sitting in her bedroom untouched, but I gave really nice editions. And I'm thinking one day she might pick it up, or a friend of hers might pick it up, or she might give it away eventually, and somebody else will read it. I mean, I don't think a book is going to go to waste. So even if somebody doesn't read it right away, that's fine. That's okay. Sometimes just owning the book is a good thing in and of itself. Okay, the second question is, I'm sorry, my computer's over here, so I keep going off camera. Do you receive many books as gifts? Are they usually successful? People do give me books. Usually it's my children or my husband. Yeah, I mean, I don't really exchange gifts very much with other people outside my immediate family. We just don't do that anymore. But yes, people give me books, and I love receiving books as gifts. This past Christmas, my daughter gave me those books set in Italy. My mind's drawing a blank. Where are they? Anyway, they're these short stories about a mayor and a priest in this Italian town, and I loved receiving those from her. And my son gave me son and his wife gave me a beautiful book of art around the theme of Christmas, which is really lovely. So I love receiving books as gifts. In fact, here I received, and again, you might not read the books right away, but that's okay. Just owning the books is good. This was a gift from my oldest son years ago. I'm planning to read it in September. So that's Complete Prose Tales of Pushkin. And I am also about to start reading this finally, and I'm pretty sure this was a gift from my husband years ago, but I'm still going to read them. So for me, it's not about immediate success where someone's going to pick it up and read it right away, but just that they'll have it and they'll be able to read it when they get to that point in their life where it's going to work. So, all right, so that's question 2. Question 3, when you buy yourself books, do you think of them as gifts? So, I think of them as indulgences. Is that the same thing as a gift? I'm not sure. Sometimes I really want a book. I really want to add it to my library, and so I go ahead and get it, and maybe that's a gift to myself. Sometimes if I'm impulse buying, it's an indulgence. But often I'm getting books, usually I'm getting books for other people or for purpose, specific purposes, like homeschooling somebody, and I want a book to homeschool with, or I want a book on gardening or something like that. So a lot of times there's a particular purpose, and then I don't feel like it's a gift, or it's not a self-indulgence. I don't know. So, wait a second. So I don't know. Sometimes I think of them as gifts or more like just being self-indulgence and I don't know if that's the same thing. All right, number 4. Do you consider used books to be acceptable gifts? Definitely. I love vintage books, which is another way to say used books. My husband has given me antique books and vintage books. I just think they have character, as long as they have held up fairly well. I'm fine with them. It doesn't bother me. In fact, it kind of adds to the charm of the gift. It can, anyway. Sorry. Sorry, I keep shaking the camera. Number 5, if you could receive a gift card for any book shop or book website, which would you choose? So this is a hard one because since discovering BookTube, I've discovered the New York book review or review book, New York review books, whatever the order is of those words. And I go to that website now and I just look through it and I daydream about the books that I'd like to buy from it. So that would be one. The other is in Washington, D.C., there's 3 nice bookstores. One is called Politics and Prose, and that reminds me of my aunt that I got a lot of books from. And I'd like a gift card there would be really cool. They're still around. They're not as many as there used to be, but there's something called Kramer Books and Afterwards, which is it was like before Borders came on board. There was Kramer Books and Afterwards, and they had a bookstore, of course, a lovely bookstore with a cafe. And so that was really fun. I remember, in my 20s that I'd hang out there a lot. So that would be neat to revisit that. And I think there might just be one left. It used to be a local chain, and I think they've shut down a lot. But I think there's still one at DuPont Circle, maybe the original one. And then there's another chain of books in Washington, D.C. called, oh my gosh, I'm going to get this wrong, something like Busboys and Poets, or Poets and I think it's Busboys and Poets. And I think it's this along the same line. I haven't actually been in one, but I've heard about them. So that would be kind of cool too. So those would be the 3 places that I would like to explore if someone gave me, a book, a gift card. All right, let's see. Question number 6, gift wrapping. Gift bag, bear presentation. Well, if I'm organized enough to actually think to get a book bag, I would get that because you can reuse those, and I like the idea. I don't like wrapping paper because you tear it up and you don't reuse it. It's a waste of paper. It's a waste of trees. So I do like book bags better, or gift bags, because you can reuse them for other gifts. Or just the bare presentation. That's fine too. That doesn't bother me at all. Let's see. I don't know about other people though. Maybe if I didn't know the other person. I mean, when we give gifts on Christmas morning, we don't wrap. We don't bother to wrap. So we just put them in, each person gets a spot in the living room around the tree, and we just put all their gifts there. So we don't really wrap very much. I'm not big into wrapping because it seems like it's wasteful. 7, can you communicate to others when a book is a lend and not a gift? Now, this was a problem for me with homeschooling because sometimes I could because of the other person. So somebody might say, hey, do you have this particular textbook? Can we just borrow it for a year? And then I would, and then eventually I'd get it back, right? If they remembered it when they were cleaning out their books at the end of the year, they would remember it didn't belong to them. So in that context, it was clear. But I have given away a lot of books that I just sort of thought they were a long-term lend, and I wound up never getting them back. So, and most of the time I'm not good at communicating. And then I just write it off, because if the person forgets to give it back, I've done the same thing to other people. So, and you lose contact with them or whatever. It just winds up sitting on your shelf. So I don't sweat it, and I don't make a big deal out of it. And there's certain books, though, that I wouldn't lend out because they're too dear to me. So I don't know. It depends on the book. It depends on the relationship with the person that you're lending the book to. Number 8, have you ever given someone an ebook? So I've tried to do this with my husband because he only reads on the Kindle now, but he's a voracious reader. So giving him books was and he's a hard person to buy for. He's really hard to buy for. But so books was a good thing, but that's gone now because he only does Kindle. So I've tried to give him books, and basically what I've wound up doing is just purchasing the book and then telling him I've put a book on our Kindle. And that's your gift. It's kind of, I don't know, there's got to be a better way to do that, but that's what I've wound up doing with him, because he took away, by preferring only the Kindle now because his eyes are bad, he took away the one sure gift I could give him, and he's really hard to buy for. He is a gift giver. He's really good at thinking of gifts to give other people, but it's really, really hard to buy anything for him. So let's see. Number 9, name 5 books you'd love to receive as gifts. Oh man, I should have thought about this before I started talking. 5 books that I would love to receive as gifts. Well, going back to the New York Review books, I read that travel log by Patrick Lee Firmer. He wrote a series. I would love to have that series. I've only read the first one, but I would like a collection of his books. I think I would really, really like that. And he wrote a lot. I think there's only 2 in that particular series, but he wrote other travel logs too. So that would be neat to have those books. What else would trying to think. I can't think of anything else. So those are the only ones that come to mind right now. I should have been thinking about this before I got on. All right, and then number 10, tag some book/gift people. So the person I thought of to tag was Spontaneous Reader. So I'm going to tag you. I'm just going to tag one person. So Spontaneous Reader, you are officially tagged. I will put all the questions below. And thank you, Catherine, for coming up with such a good original tag. And I'll talk to you all later. Bye.